Hey Bronte, I just wanted to walk you through how to get this repo onto your machine and open in RStudio. So I really like this book, Happy Git with R, that Jenny Bryant's written. If you want to make sure that Git is, your RStudio is connected to Git, it's a good idea to kind of work through the steps in chapter 4. And then making sure that you've got R and RStudio upgraded to the most current versions is a good idea. How to install Git and introduce yourself to Git. I ran into problems here. I'd recently upgraded my operating system on my computer and it wasn't recognizing my configuration anymore, which took me a little while to work out. So if you work through steps 4 through 7, you can skip step 8 because you don't need to use a Git client. RStudio makes it pretty easy. And then what I'm going to walk through now is essentially the steps in chapter 9. Right? So what I've done here in my GitHub account is create a new private repo that you and I will have access to. Once you work out what your GitHub username is, just let me know and I'll invite you to collaborate on this, and then it should appear in your GitHub account like here. So you just want to use the green code button and copy this this URL. Then you go into your RStudio and you want to clone the repo. So the easiest way to do that is to go File, New Project, and use version control, and then choose Git, and you want to clone it from that URL. So you just copy the URL in, and then click Open a New Session and Create Project. So it'll ask you for your login password. All right, it's going to restart R. And then you can see now I'm in a project called Disengagement, and all it's got in it is the proj file and a README file. So what I'm going to do here to test that the link between RStudio and Git is working is edit this README file. When you get it on your machine, you want to add a folder with the data and a folder with the scripts and organize it before you push it back. But just to show you what to do, I'm going to open this README file, and Jenny is checking that R is talking to Git by editing the README. I'm going to save that. And then you'll notice up here in the Git pane, it's telling me that these files have changed. So you can either interact with Git via this pane, or I find it actually easier just to type commands in the terminal. So one option is to click each of these things that have changed and go commit, and it will bring up this box. So what you're doing here is adding the things that you want to commit to Git, adding a message. So Jenny edited the README. You press the commit button, and then you press the push button. Now there's a way there's some instructions in the Happy Git with R to show you how to have Git and R save your credentials so you don't have to put in your password each time. So then if we go back, there's nothing that has changed in this Git pane. And if I go back to the GitHub repo and refresh it, you can see that this change has appeared in the README. right? So that's one way to interact with Git. You can use this Git tab. The other way to do it is to use the terminal. So you notice here, I've got my console and then a terminal. And this is a pretty easy way, once you get the hang of it, to interact with Git as well. So I'm going to add another line to Jenny demoing the terminal. 3 commands, actually there's 4, right? 4 commands you need. First you want git pull. So when you and I are working together, before you push anything to Git, you always want to pull down the latest version so that you're making sure that you're not going to create merge conflicts. So you do git pull first, and then you tell Git, I want to add some stuff. Now the dot just stands for everything that has changed. And then you want to write a commit message. So dash message, demo terminal is the message, right? And then the fourth thing you type is git push, right? So I'm going to save that and then show you how they work, right? So here in the terminal, it's telling me over here in my git pane that the readme has changed again. So I'm going to go git pull first to make sure that you haven't made any changes. Pulling without specifies. Oh, that's not a good message. Hang on. What does that say? You can replace git fig. Oh, I think that might just be a warning. It's a hint rather than an error. We don't need to worry about that, I don't think, right? So it's telling me that it's already up to date. You haven't made any changes. So then I can go get to add. I want to add everything. The dot is everything that has changed. And I want to write a commit message. So commit dash terminal commands. And it's telling me that there's 1 file changed and 10 things have inserted. So we've got git add, git commit, and then git push. I do need to work out how to make it not ask me for a password every time. All right. And then if we go back to our GitHub repo and refresh it, now you can see how this readme is updated. So have a go, see if you can clone the project onto your machine and edit the readme and then push it back and see if that works. And then add folders for your data and scripts and let me know how that goes. Good luck!